We know that water demand is one of your biggest concerns about residential fire sprinkler systems. Here are the facts. In a survey cited by the Fire Protection Research Foundation, water usage was tracked at 35 one- and two-family home fires in 8 different communities. An average of 3,254 gallons of water was discharged for firefighting at homes without fire sprinkler protection. An average of 341 gallons of total water usage per fire was utilized in homes with fire sprinkler systems. That is a 90% reduction in water demand. The evidence shows that there is far less water used to control fires in homes with sprinklers. Because of their life safety benefits and environmental advantages, many communities have developed policies to support installation of fire sprinklers in homes.
Also, East Bay Mud has no standby fee. Standby fees are theoretically charged to recover the costs of extraordinary things that you would do for a sprinklered water supply. So since we charge directly for the hardware that's required to serve each of the customers, there's really nothing else in the system that we would do any different because of the residential fire sprinkler.
Communities across the country are offering incentives for homes protected with fire sprinklers. The state of New Jersey has a law that eliminates the standby fees for standalone fire service water lines of 2 inches or less. Altamonte Springs, Florida, allows a 40% credit against the water connection charge for residences with fire sprinklers. Reduced fire hydrant spacing requirements is another policy some communities have adopted to encourage the use of residential fire sprinklers.
When we passed our initial ordinance, there was an estimate out there that the City of Scottsdale was projected to save at least $7.1 to $7.5 million on infrastructure costs alone. A majority of that is going to be in the water infrastructure, where we've increased the spacing of fire hydrants. We've also reduced the fire flow requirements that are typically in the fire codes by anywhere from up to 50 to 75% because we're having fully sprinkled developments.
Well, working with the fire department at the time, one of the concessions that we wanted to make to the building community to show them that there would be a minimal impact in terms of cost was to show them that we had a current spacing without the fire sprinklers, and by putting in the fire sprinklers that spacing could be relaxed. In most subdivisions, that they were going to be saving some pretty significant money on the spacing of those fire hydrants. And from our standpoint, from the water department, a fire hydrant can be a fairly costly expenditure in terms of appurtenance maintenance.
In the development of residential fire sprinkler policy, it is critical for all stakeholders to have a seat at the table.
Well, obviously, anytime you're looking at change, there's always some concerns on the part of the community, the part of the building community, and we had to get everyone involved and make sure that everyone was comfortable. And one of the issues was the concern of the sizing of water meters, that it was going to create a much larger size water meter for residential applications, and we had to show that really wasn't going to be the case.
That was a task force or a committee made up of water purveyors. I was one of about 5. Fire agency folks, NFPA folks, builders, the Home Builders Association. So kind of all of the actors that sort of care about this issue from an economic perspective, a safety perspective, a firefighting perspective, a water perspective. We had to initially educate each other as to our angles and our views because we had huge misconceptions about each other. Once we sorted that through, then we landed on the recommendations and, of course, the code change.
Don't wait. Get educated on residential fire sprinkler systems. Start to develop your policy now. Work with officials in your jurisdiction or your jurisdictions and be proactive. Residential fire sprinkler systems are coming. If they're not in your jurisdiction now, it's just a matter of when. So don't wait, get started.
This video has focused narrowly on water supply issues. To learn more details about all aspects of residential fire sprinkler systems and installations, please visit the Home Fire Sprinkler Coalition website. All HFSC information is available free of charge. HFSC is non-commercial and a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization. This video is produced with generous funding through a fire prevention and safety grant.